Hey guys, how's it going? I was searching the Facebook groups the other night, and a guy was asking about a video for the oil pressure sensor removal on a 2012 F150 with the 3.5 EcoBoost. Said he could not find one, so I offered to go ahead and make a video just kind of showing the steps and what all you actually have to do. So to start out, we're going to use an 8mm with a couple of extensions. This will get all the clamps off of the intake piping, and to get all that out of the way, and then we will use a 13/16 socket deep well to remove the sensor itself. Always helps to have a flashlight because the sensor's kind of in a pain in the butt spot to get to. My truck does have a colder intake on it. The steps should be pretty much the exact same. So what we're going to start with is the one of the map sensors. It's just a push connection and slide out. I believe it is supposed to have a red clip on it. Mine does not. Next, we've got the 3 flip tabs for the intake air filter, and then we will have this clamp and this clamp that both need removed. So we'll go ahead and take these off, get them loosened up. There's that one. You may need to use the ratchet for this, you may not. Then pop that one out. Put the air box up and slide that one out. Everything is disconnected. Just set it off to the side. So then we come down. You will want to remove this clip here. So if you take and you push in and up on the bottom side of the white tabs, that want to slide off. You will then want to remove this tube here that goes to the piping here. So this tab here, you'll slide up and back. There's a little groove for it to pop into. Of course, now mine doesn't want to come out. I had it wrong. You need to slide it that way to open up the clip. The other one had popped off. Evidently it was not tight. I did kind of loosen some things up earlier just to make sure that I had the process correct. So all the way down here, the lower intake tube, you'll have another clamp. I have already loosened mine, so this one just needs to be removed. There is a ball and socket joint right here for the upper tube, so you want to pop that out of place, and then just below it is one for the lower tube as well. Straight up, pop it out as well. Once that's popped out and it is dislodged from down there, we can snake that out of the way. My truck does have the vent to atmosphere mod, so you will have to take this tube off of your intake piping if your truck does not have the vent to atmosphere mod done. So now we can look down here. Right here is the sensor in question. It is a single connector, push clip on the back side, and you just push in and pull back out. This is kind of a tight spot, so we will bring in our 13/16. You may need to wiggle it on a little bit to help clean off some of the gunk. Should not need an extension for this. The longer extension was for the intake piping coming right off of the turbo. That hose clamp, I did need to use that with. And then you will just loosen this to pull it out. I'm not actually going to pull mine out right now because I'm not having any issues with it. I'm just making this video to help out the other guys. And then installation is just the reverse. If you have some Teflon tape, it would not be a bad idea to put it on the threads. I did not when I did mine, and I have had no oil seepage. So some of the symptoms that would point you towards that sensor, my truck was doing an intermittent low oil pressure warning on the gauge cluster. It had started right after an oil change, so I thought, you know, maybe it was just a junk oil filter. I've had in the past where sometimes a bad oil filter will throw a low oil pressure warning. It was mainly on some older cars that I had. Changed the oil filter, it didn't make a difference. Truck wasn't making any noise, it was full of oil. So if your truck is having a low oil pressure message on the message center in the gauge cluster, this could be your issue. If the truck dies, it's making some clattering sounds, more than likely you do actually have low oil pressure. If the truck is driving like normal, no other symptoms, it's just that message on the screen, oil's full, more than likely it's going to be this sensor. Sensor's $15 to $20. My parts store had it in stock, so was not a big deal to do. Worst part is just getting down to it. It's kind of a tight spot. So hopefully you guys find this helpful. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to message me. I'm on Instagram as FoxTrent86 as well, same as my YouTube name. So yeah, installation is just reverse of removal. So you put the new sensor in, put that lower tube back in, hook up your evap lines, put the top tube back on, make sure you plug in the electrical connector. As you can see, I had already taken mine off to make sure that I had the correct socket for you guys when I went ahead to do the video. So once again, hopefully this video was helpful. I know I kind of stumbled through a few things. Thankfully, I don't have to work on this truck very often. It's been a very reliable truck. But like I said, if you guys have any questions, drop them in the comments below. Feel free to reach out to me on Instagram. Or, you know, if you're in the Facebook group, feel free to message me there as well. Other than that, you guys have a good evening.